Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, July 20th. You know it's Saturday because I'm right here at the desk, and honestly, it's been a long week. I could just use the rest. I don't want to stand anymore. I was told a long time ago that the reason we do this sitting here on Saturdays because one day we just started doing it that way. And that's good enough reason for me. I think we might do all the rest of the weeks. Starting Monday, we might just start all the shows from here. But we'll decide that in the next production meeting. For now, let's talk about what's on today's show. And we've got a great one for you. Providence Mission Hospital's Dr. Ehab Olamari is going to be here. We're going to be talking about aortic stenosis and some of the signs that you might have one without even knowing about it. So very interesting conversation we're having with him. And then 40th Congressional District Update with Representative Young Kim. Going to be talking about a lot of things going on in her district and a lot of things going on in Washington as well. So stay tuned for that. Let's take a look at senior scam stoppers on our Stay Informed segment, and it's an important one. We can stop these scams if you are informed and know how to do that. On Wednesday, July 31st from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in the Community Center boardroom, there's going to be an event talking about how you can stop scammers in their tracks. They come through emails, they come through texts, they come through regular phone calls, they come in the mail, all sorts of scams out there that you need to be aware of. If you want to get a seat at this thing, seating is limited, so make sure you RSVP by calling 949-798-7221. Now let's take a look outside at our weather, and it is going to be a warm day again today. It's going to be the last real hot day that we're going to have in the forecast as that high pressure is going to start to weaken and move out just a little bit on Sunday, and into Monday we're even cooler. So another warm day, close to 90 degrees here in Laguna Woods Village area, but then we back off just a little bit more comfortable with 85 and then 83 on Monday. Looking forward to that. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset, and we have yet another vacation picture. Thank you so much, Connie Barton, for sending this one in. The Kerry Cliffs in Ireland. That is beautiful. What a beautiful, gorgeous shot. Our sunrise this morning was 5:55. Sunset tonight is going to be 7:58. If you're on vacation, you want to send us a picture, we'd love to see it, or just sunrise, sunset right here locally, we'd still love to see it. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name and where you took the picture, and make sure it's horizontal so we can fit it on the screen, and we will put it in our sunrise sunset segment. All right, when we come back, we'll be talking about aortic stenosis from Providence Mission Hospital. Stay with us.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
And from Providence Mission Hospital, we want to welcome Dr. Ehab Olamari to our program. Thank you so much for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
And we talked a little bit about what arterial valve stenosis is. That's kind of your specialty. The heart is your specialty, but most people haven't heard of this stenosis in the aortic valve, right?
That is correct, yes. So to start with, aortic valve is one of 4 valves in the heart that allows the blood to go through different chambers. The aortic valve is the main door of the heart that allows the blood to come from the heart to our body.
Okay.
That's the oxygenated blood. So basically, we have here the left ventricle, which is the left lower chamber, and that is through the aortic valve allows the blood to go through the aorta, and from the aorta it goes to our body.
Okay.
Now, this valve has 3 leaflets, and during our lifetime, it opens and closes about billions of times.
Okay, yeah. Every time our heart beats, basically,
exactly.
Right?
So it's, it's a lot of times that it opens and closes. And it allows the blood, again, to go through that valve, which is a one-way valve, so it should not come back. But with time, what happens is there will be wear and tear on the valve. There will be some deposits of cholesterol and calcium. And what happens is that valve becomes restricted. These leaflets become restricted. And the valve it does not open fully with time.
Okay.
So ideally or normally the valve opening should be about like 2 to 3 centimeter opening. But when it becomes tight with all that calcium in it, it becomes less than a centimeter opening.
Okay. And obviously that would restrict blood flow, right?
Exactly. So that will restrict the blood flow, and that requires the heart to work harder. And this is when the heart will be kind of working a lot, like more than what it should be, and patients will start having symptoms, and then they could actually, eventually the heart could fail.
Okay. What are some of the symptoms, like fatigue and things like that, or?
So symptoms are wide. There's a wide spectrum of symptoms, but the most common symptoms are shortness of breath with exertion, decreased exercise tolerance, chest pain, fatigue, passing out, or syncope. The problem is this is the valve stenosis is it's an age-related problem most of the time.
Okay.
So and it's a lot of times it's missed by the patient because they think that these symptoms are just normal aging process.
That's what I was going to ask. It's hard to pinpoint it because of the fact you'd think, oh, I'm just getting older. I'm just not as vibrant as I used to be.
Correct. And unfortunately, actually, we've seen many patients that they have this problem. They were not diagnosed or underdiagnosed just because they think that these symptoms are just normal process and it's a normal aging. It's normal to get tired. It's normal to get short of breath and so on. But then once we diagnose the problem and fix it, they feel the opposite.
Okay. And so when we understand that, so what is the prognosis in terms of stages? And if I have this and I don't get it treated, could I die from this? Is that extreme?
So if you have severe aortic valve stenosis, so it's very tight, and you are symptomatic, you're having symptoms, this prognosis is worse than metastatic cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning, if you don't get it treated, patients will not make it. Most of them, 50% of them or more, actually, they will not make it for 2 years.
Okay.
But if you get treated, you go back to your life expectancy, go back to your normal age population, basically like, matched for their peers' age. And that's where it's very important to diagnose this problem early on and get it treated.
Now, you said sometimes it's cholesterol related and those kinds of things. So are people who are on cholesterol blockers, can that help with the process of stop this from happening in the first place?
Say, yeah, it helps actually reducing or slowing the progression of the problem. Again, this is a problem that we see a lot, especially in the age like above 70 and 80 years old. It's a normal aging process. There is a wear and tear on the valve. But having the patient control their blood pressure, control their cholesterol, it is important to slow the process.
Okay.
Instead of kind of like, you can't 100% like prevent it, but at least you can slow the process.
So is this something that's just going to happen to everybody, or is it just certain, sometimes it hurts some people and sometimes it doesn't hit other people?
It actually does not happen to everyone, no.
Okay.
It depends on of course, like, your genes, your lifestyle, what did you do like in the last 7 years, correct? In terms of your cholesterol, high blood pressure, and all these things. But also there are genetic components or there are congenital problems. Like some patients, you see this valve has 3 leaflets, correct? Some patients, they were born with 2 leaflets that we call bicuspid valve. And those patients, the pressure on the valve will be on 2 leaflets rather than 3, so the wear and tear will be faster.
Okay.
These patients they'll present with tight valve early on in their 50s and 60 years old rather than in their 70s and 80s. So there are multiple factors that could lead to this, but the main one is the age-related aortic valve stenosis.
Okay. So treatments, is a valve replacement? Are you somehow just removing the stuff? What do you do to treat this kind of thing?
So we have 2 ways of treating this. The traditional way is by open heart surgery. Basically, when the surgeon go in, open the chest, take the old valve, and then replace it and place a new one.
Okay.
And for the last 10 plus years, we have actually a new technique, that's the minimal invasive technique, that is called TAVR. TAVR stands for transcatheter aortic valve replacement.
Okay, now we have a video of this, right? That we
Correct.
can take
Yes,
a quick
so we
look
can
at.
take
You can
a
maybe
look.
walk us through what this looks like and what's going on in this video.
So basically, this is a minimal invasive technique that we don't have to open the chest. We go through the groin through a small catheter and small incision, and we will have a valve on that catheter that we're going to deploy in the old aortic valve. We don't take the old valve out. What we do actually is we place this new valve inside the old valve. Here, we're just doing some reconstruction of the valve inside the body to make sure that the balloon is mounted on the stent, or the stent is mounted in the balloon. And then we go around the aorta, and we're looking, obviously, this is through an X-ray or basically fluoroscopy in the cath lab. Now, once that valve, the new valve is across, then we make some fine adjustments to make sure that the deployment is in the right place. Now, before we deploy, we have to pace the heart very fast to prevent movement while deployment, because we want the heart to be still, basically, when we are deploying. So now the heart is beginning paced about 180 beats per minute. Then we deploy the valve. That takes about between 5 to 10 seconds. And then off the pacer, we take everything out. And now you have a new valve inside that old valve.
Okay.
The old valve has all that calcium around it. And basically, when we open the new valve, we smush the old valve to the side. All that calcium on the side is going to be used as a cement to hold the new valve.
There we go.
Yes. So it's a natural cement that will hold the new valve in place. And now you have a new valve that should last you like another 12 to 15 years.
So you don't stop the heart to do that, but you put it in kind of an arrhythmia, a really fast beat, so it almost is still, because it's just almost vibrating instead of like doing a regular beat, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And the whole, again, process is about like 10 seconds.
Okay. Now the stent that goes in, because I was going to ask, because it is a closing, stenosis is a closing of the whole area, so that stent, it opens everything up and keeps it open for the rest of the life of the patient, right?
Yes. Well, so the
is that example of it?
That is an example of it, exactly. So this is basically the stent around is a cobalt chromium. The valve itself is a cow material, like a cow valve, material. And then we have the fabric to prevent like any leakage around the valve. And these valves ideally last between 10 to 15 years. And if the patient in the future needs another valve, then you can do the same technique inside this valve.
Okay, so there we go. Wow, that's amazing. So what should the patient feel if they go through this process? They've had this. How should they feel at the end? Are they up on their feet that day, or are we good to go, or is there a rehab associated with it?
So we send everyone to rehab, 3 months of cardiac rehab after, but most of the patient, they will feel the relief, I will say, in their symptoms almost immediately or on the next morning. A lot of patients, obviously, they have other problems, other comorbidities, but they feel great after performing the cardiac rehab because now you open that valve and the patient can breathe and the blood is flowing freely.
Terrific. It's amazing. And over at Providence, you guys are doing these pretty regularly?
Correct.
Is it something that just happens? And
yes.
And you guys have all the diagnosis, so if people go in there, if they're having these kind of challenges, having issues, feeling this fatigue, feeling this dizziness, fainting, you guys should be the ones to tell them what's going on.
Yes. I think it's important, for any patients, they can't diagnose themselves, and it's very important if any patient has new symptoms, just don't blame the age on these symptoms. Go to your doctor, get it checked.
Right.
And these procedures are easy, they're life-saving. Recovery is fast. These patients, they go home the next morning, they walk the same day, they go home the next morning, and we do this under even moderate sedation. It's not even like a full sedation. So it's a fast recovery. Patient feels great, usually almost immediately or the next few weeks, and it saves a life.
Amazing. From Providence Mission Hospital, Dr. Ihab Olamari, thank you so much for joining us. Amazing stuff.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Attention all club organizers, party planners, and those who simply love to gather and celebrate life's special moments. Are you tired of the hassle of cooking for your events? Looking for a convenient and delicious solution? Introducing our easy and convenient catering trays, perfect for groups of any size from 35 to 90. Need a larger space to host your event? Look no further than our restaurant's banquet room, the perfect venue for your next gathering. Call us today to place your catering order or reserve our banquet room for your next event. Create memories and traditions with Polly's Pies.
Congresswoman Young Kim joins us today, and we want to welcome California's 40th District, including Laguna Woods. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me again.
So I think I want to start with the kind of the conversation probably everybody's having in their offices today. Where were you on Saturday when you heard the news of the attempted assassination?
Coincidentally, I was meeting with the admirals and generals and all the 27 nations gathered in Hawaii to attend the RIMPAC of the Pacific. It's the largest multi-nation naval exercises that happens every 2 years. So I was actually on the largest USS carrier.
Oh, wow.
So we were in the sort of out of the internet, in the skiff type of setting when this happened. So we immediately turned on the TV and saw what was happening, and it was horrific. No one should have to face this, and you know, I'm so glad when we found out that the president is safe, but I also am saddened, and I want to offer condolences to the families of the one person who's a hero, by the way. He shielded the
the firefighter
his
lost his
family.
life.
Yeah, and those who are wounded, I really wish them for speedy recovery. But you know, I mean, that shouldn't happen. All we need, this is a time when we need to come together, unite, and tone down the rhetoric.
Yeah, I was just going to say that when President Biden came out there and members of Congress and the Senate from both sides of the aisle were saying that pretty much the same thing on point about talking about that in a very bipartisan way. And I know you are kind of very prideful in the fact that you have really worked for so many years in a bipartisan manner to get bills passed as well. And a ranking came out that says you're kind of up at the top of the list of that.
Yes. So every year they rank us, the entire members of Congress and 100 senators. I am named the most bipartisan and most effective member of Congress out of the entire California delegation, and I'm first in the California delegation and sixth in the entire nation, and that also includes 50 governors. So I'm very proud of the work that my team and I are doing, delivering results for my constituents. And you know, the last time I came here and talked to you, constituent services is #1 priority. So if anyone needs help and if anyone wants help from my office, I encourage them to contact us. We have a mobile office hours right here in Laguna Woods every third Thursday of the month. So for July, it's this Thursday, July 18th.
Coming up this Thursday.
Yeah, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if anyone needs help, please contact my office. We also have district offices in Mission Viejo and Anaheim House.
Yes, absolutely. We have slides for that. We'll be showing those as well. You know, I think one of the things like you mentioned, you're getting legislation passed because when you have divided government, you know, Democrats controlling the Senate and a Democratic president and a GOP in the House, you have to have bipartisan legislation going through. And so I think a lot of people are probably encouraged by the idea and the notion that you understand that and can get things done that way by working and reaching across the aisle.
And talking about reaching across the aisle and working with your counterparts from the other side, I have worked with my Democrat members, especially from California, and I've really focused on lowering Medicare costs and making sure that we protect Medicare, Social Security, and so forth. Yes, yeah.
And so, what are some of the things you're doing on that front right now? What can we be looking forward to?
So, most seniors do not know that if they don't sign up, when they are eligible to sign up for Medicare at the age of 65, because these days, you know, 65 is young, we continue to work, and so oftentimes we figure that, well, I don't need to sign up for this, and I'll wait until I'm actually retiring. And later they find out that they have to pay more premiums for the Medicare when you don't sign up. So I introduced the Medicare Economic Security Solutions Act. What it will do is it will cap the penalties for not signing up on time, and it will cap the duration of Medicare Part B, the premium that goes up every year. And it's not just for 1 or 2 years, it's for life. People don't know that. Right now, the premium for the Medicare part is about $175 a month. On top of that, you will be paying additional premium because you didn't sign up, and sometimes you don't know it. So I'm capping that, the penalty and also the duration of the penalty that will occur. Now, this we need to make sure that gets through the finish line, so
Right,
we'll
we gotta
get
have the
cited
president
into law.
sign that, the
Oh,
Senate,
yes.
Senate sign
Yes.
off, the president
But it's
sign
a
it.
common sense thing. So I
Yeah.
got my Democratic colleague to work with me on this. So I think we're going to get it done.
Yeah, and I think
Yes,
people need to
yeah.
realize, like you
Yeah.
said, they're working. I have insurance through my company. I didn't need to bother, but it's one of those things where you just do it no matter what because it's going to make a difference. And eventually, when you retire, there it is, and it's ready for you.
Yes. I mean, and sometimes too, I mean, the ones that is hurting the most is those living on a fixed income, and that's senior citizens. And they need
Absolutely.
to make sure that they know that they're protected with the Social Security, the monies that they worked so hard for all their lives. So we are really working to make sure that we protect Medicare and Social Security. And this is, again, one of my top policy priorities.
And as a representative for folks right here in Laguna Woods Village, you're also working towards helping people kind of prepare for retirement.
Yes,
And what are
yeah.
some of the steps you have seen that folks need to do, or what are you doing to help them get there?
So people may not know, but I serve on the House Financial Services Committee, but I'm also the co-chair of the Financial Literacy and Wealth Creation Caucus. I'm very active on that, and we do a lot of workshops and roundtable discussions with the financial institutions to make sure that people can prepare early for financial education literacy programs that will help them invest, budget better, and also prepare early for retirements. I did support the 2.0, Secure 2.0 Act, and that will improve the tax incentives for individuals that will start preparing for retirements early. And it'll also make sure that if you pull money out early from your retirement account, that you will be able to do so without the concern that you will be penalized
Right.
for it. A lot of people are concerned about that too. So even if you have money, people don't take it out. I don't, because I know there is more penalty involved in it. And it also allows people from 50 years old and over to be able to catch up. So if you
kind of got a late start in life and
you got a
savings
late
and that
start,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
So there is a lot of employers that will do the match up or agency matching funds. So if you are able to, I encourage everybody to give or take the maximum amount, like whether it's 15% of your gross salary, take it, and then take advantage of the agency matching fund, and then it's all tax-free. So, or tax deferred. So I encourage everybody to do that, and it's especially important for seniors approaching their retirement age. And I'm retiring age myself too, so
No.
I'm preparing myself. Yes, I'm a grandma. Don't forget
Say it
that,
isn't
Michael.
So. No, I've seen the pictures.
Yes,
You and the
yes.
big the family and
Yeah.
everybody. What would you say is that there are people out there who are living paycheck to paycheck, and like you said, some people don't start that savings. What's some of the best advice or some of the things you've learned over the years about people that what do they need to do now to make sure that they're going to have that a little bit of a nest egg at least?
Well, understand what compound interest is, right? So if you have the ability to save money today, it's never late to do it. So if you put away $1,000 today and then forget about it, okay, and then a few years later, you'll be surprised the magic of compound interest. People need to understand that. Now, if you have a limited amount that you can put away in CDs, mutual funds, just check around which one gives you the best
Right.
buck for your dollars that you put away. Just understanding different resources, different type of investment tools that's available. But if you have a financial advisor, please talk to them and let them know what or find out what your options are. Start early.
Right.
Financial literacy education is key to unlocking the future opportunities on how you can be better prepared for future retirement.
Absolutely, and get out to one of the offices when you guys are doing your mobile offices
Yes.
and make a visit and talk to you in person. They can do that as well. And coming
Yes.
up this Thursday, like you said.
Yes.
So look forward to that. Representative Young Kim, 40th Congressional District, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Envision Eye Centers, conveniently located next to Laguna Woods. We offer cutting-edge technology that meets unsurpassed service.
You and your eyes are my priority. We will treat you with the utmost care and compassion.
Some might offer local exams, but they'll send you on a trek for surgery. Skip the unnecessary travel.
You can be confident that we will deliver the best outcome for your eyes.
Schedule your consultation today and see the world clearly. Call us or visit our website. No inconvenience, just expert care.
Hey, let's take a look at the Saturday movie, and it's a classic, Bing Crosby, 1944, Going My Way. It's brought to us by Hogue, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Going My Way is a musical comedy about a new priest taking over a parish from an old established veterans, and guess what? They clash, bump heads a little bit over a parishioner that's being evicted and a young runaway that's trying to get away from home, and it's a comedy, it's a musical, and it's some drama in there too. So hope you enjoy that. 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. today, brought to us by Hogue. And hey, are you into barbecue? Are you hungry? Are you looking at this picture and saying, I'd like some of that? Well, get out there to the barbecue buffet. It's going to be on Monday, July 22nd, over at Clubhouse 5. It's going to be at 5 p.m. It is going to be $29, and let me say, baby back ribs, oven fried chicken, corn on the cob, baked beans, that's a classic at any barbecue buffet, salads, apple pie, yes, please, and more apple pie for sure. Tickets are on sale, Clubhouse 5, and make sure you get out there, RSVP, or call the rec center for more information, and enjoy the barbecue buffet coming up on Monday. Okay, that's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Before we go, though, I'll get a quick check on your weather, and it is warm today. It's going to be warm for the rest of today. A little bit cooler on Sunday, and then even cooler on Monday as the high pressure moves out, and we have a return of the marine layer. Maybe some cloud coverage for us for the next couple days after today, which is really warm. Monday on the program, we're going to be talking to folks from RadNet and the Old Pros. They have a spoken word thing going on with songs. That should be a fun event. It's the second time they've done it, so it'll be a good one. We'll talk to them about that. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
When you really need help, the Salvation Army will tide you over, give you shelter, give you food, and help you get back on your feet.
The Salvation Army helps human beings all over the world.
I'd do anything in my power to try to help them out.
Some people's legacies are engraved on monuments, but yours can be written on lives. With careful planning, you can take care of your family and serve your community, and the Salvation Army can help.
Every year, we would get a charitable gift annuity with the Salvation Army. This helps me, it helps my daughter, and it helps the Army.
I chose to create an endowment for the Salvation Army.
It's one of the few major decisions I've ever made in my life I am completely comfortable with.
Hi, I'm John Bowser-Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.